everyone. Welcome to episode 26 of my 15 minutes. It's something I do every day for the benefit of no one in particular except myself. I decided this year, being my 70th year on Earth, I would try and do 1 year of talking 15 minutes every night about myself or things that I've done or things that have happened to me or taking a stand on something or whatever. So this is episode 26. And the channel is Old Folks Boogie 2. I'm old, I'm a folk, I boogie. Anyway, tonight, today we had a special guest, my future sister-in-law, getting married to my brother in May, came in and sat for 15 minutes and spoke her mind, which was pretty good. She had a lot of good points. If you go and listen to her, it's called Janet's Turn, I think. But anyway, it's in here. It's easy to find. A lot of valid points. Her topic was find the truth. Look for the truth. Search for the truth. It's hard to find. No, I listened to what she had to say, and I agree with all of it. The truth is so hard to find these days. God, this world abounds with liars. We celebrate liars. An actor is nothing but a great liar. A great actor is a great liar. He knows it. Every actor knows it. It's part of what they are. They know it. They know that's they can make a living at it, other than trying to con people, because con men are actors and liars. I've known a few in my time. They were really good at it. but right now the world is just full of them. Oh my Lord, have mercy! It is just filled with people lying, and nothing much to do about it. But the real issue is not so much that people lie. The guy down the street lies to somebody doesn't affect me. But when the people that are running the government of this country lie, and they do it all the time, and it doesn't, and you know what, I don't care what anybody says, you take sides, blah, blah, blah. I certainly lean more of a progressive. I'm a more progressive person. I have some conservative leanings as well, but I'm certainly more progressive than I am conservative. But the fact is that whatever side of the aisle you're on these days makes no difference, because they're all liars, they're all cheats, and they're all just out to make a buck. It doesn't matter which side, I don't think. I can't find somebody that I consider to be an honest politician these days. Personally, I think that the Donald Trump initiative, their impeachment as we so call it, hardly an impeachment to my way of thinking. But this initiative is just payback. The Republicans did it to Bill Clinton. Now the Democrats are doing it to, Donald Trump. It's just payback, and it's pitiful. It's pitiful. We have better things to do with our time than listening to the diatribe that becomes the daily insult of news. It's insane. You can't, I use that word too much, but you know what? This world seems insane to me. Just seems insane. And I would hope that it would to you too. I really would. I would hope that you would learn that one side doesn't have all the answers, no matter what anybody else says, but they don't. Nobody has all the answers. In fact, this world is going to hell in a handbasket because nobody has all the answers. So, I don't know. It's a puzzlement, that's for sure. But finding the truth, as Janet says, is something we can all try to do. It's hard. It's hard to find the truth these days. Lord have mercy. What is the truth? People contradict each other daily. Just daily. So, I certainly, where I know is, I don't trust a one of them. I don't trust a politician in this country. I don't trust anybody to think that they're going to put us ahead of themselves in their search for fulfillment. And fulfillment usually means money. Politicians come into this place poor, but leave wealthy. If they stay long enough, they leave really wealthy. Not only do they get money. I don't know how they gather it together, but somehow or another they end up making more than the normal person. They get it, but then somehow or another they end up wealthy, and it's just, I'm so sick of it. I really am. I try not to watch the news. I just avoid it just because it makes me ill. If I watch it, it's just, churning my stomach. Now, to be perfectly frank, I'm not a basketball fan, but today, was the death of Kobe Bryant. I know of Kobe Bryant because I'm in Philadelphia and he's from Philadelphia, and I watched the news the day they pulled him out and told him he could go from high school to NBA, and he did. He didn't care about going to college. He took what he knew, and he made himself a fortune doing it well. More power to him. I feel really bad for his family. Really do. I'm not a sports person, but I do like sports figures who then become entrepreneurs and then, seek to help others, which it seems Kobe Bryant did. There's others out there like that, and they all deserve our, thanks and applause. Instead of just taking the money and blowing it like so many do, they thought about what they were doing. And yeah, he made a lot of money, don't get me wrong. So it's very easy to live a nice lifestyle. Unfortunately, that nice lifestyle is what cost him his life. And that's the sad thing about it. He had the money to fly in a helicopter where he wanted to go. The other sad thing, and this is just, from observing the news, is who are the other 7 people involved in this helicopter crash? When is it going to come out? Who was on board with him? Why were they on board? Where were they? I think they were going to a game of some sort, but who were the others? Were they friends of the Bryants? Friends of his daughters? How far does this tragedy extend? And it is a tragedy. And the tragedy is in somewhat that he had the money to afford to be able to do that. You know how much it cost to rent a helicopter? I don't know if maybe he owned it, actually. I don't know. I haven't heard that part of the news yet. Again, I try to avoid the news, but something like this, you got to sit and watch. It's such a sad thing. Who knows where he could have gone? How many people he could have helped? How much he could have impacted the world, truthfully. But then again, as I said, it's he had the money to afford the helicopter, but yet, how many people died do we know about that die in plane and helicopter crashes? Celebrities and rich people, because that's who can afford this sort of thing. So when a tragedy happens, that's who gets taken out. Now, sometimes the people that get taken out, nobody cares about. They may be wealthy, but nobody cares except the immediate people. In this case, you got a whole country and a big chunk of the world that care about Kobe Bryant and what happened to him today. Sad, sad, sad. It really is. But, and to take his daughter with him. And the other 7 people, who are they? Oh, my goodness, who are they? I hope somebody says something soon, because I'm getting angry. I watched 2 newscasts, and none of it, all they said was 7 other people on board. Well, somebody knows who those 7 people are, don't they? I would think. That's the news. That's the reporting for you. That's, it's as shallow as it can be, because in 30 minutes of national news, you get, 12 minutes of commercials. Yeah. I long for the days of, and nobody who understands this would be much younger than I am. I long for the days of Walter Cronkite. He was the Rock in my youth. And that's pretty amazing. At that time, a TV anchorman a news anchorman was the Rock that held this nation spellbound in many, many cases. The death of John Kennedy, the moon landings, the Nixon years, I mean, all of that, Walter Cronkite. Nowadays, you've got news companies fighting each other for truth. One company says this is the truth, another company says that's not the truth, this is over here. Shouldn't all news companies, be they print or web, or shouldn't they all say the same thing? Shouldn't they all report the exact same thing? You would think so. But the way this world is, they got 2 sides of every story, and a lot of in-between stuff. That old story, read between the lines, right? Read between the lines. Whew. Man, you need to do a lot of reading between the lines in this world right now. You really do. There is just no 2 ways around it. We don't know what's going to happen to us, the little guys, the people, the ones that support those others in Washington, D.C. and other places, capitals. Politicians are the same. Maybe at the grassroots level, maybe the councilman, or your local borough councilman or whatever, maybe they're a little more. Maybe they're more laudatory. Maybe you could look up to them a little bit more. But if they move forward and want to become senators and congressmen, you can bet there's only one agenda. And it isn't anything to do with me or you or anybody that I know. Because once you get it in your head that that is the path to success, politics, you're done. If you have it in your head that it's the path to help others, and you're willing to stay at the help others level, that's fine. But if you're already aspiring to bigger and better things, if I win this election, can I win the next one? What can I go from here? Blah, blah, blah. You're dead meat as far as I'm concerned. That's not the kind of person we want to deal with. We want somebody, in fact, again, what did I say that earlier to, maybe I was talking to Janet. Congressmen, senators, that should all be a voluntary thing. You get elected and you volunteer to do that year, 4 years or 2 years or 5 years or whatever it is. You volunteer to do that for no pay. You got to pay your own. As a matter of fact, you even be better if all you got was you had to pay for everything yourself and you just got the privilege of being part of the government. That way, rich people would come into office and wouldn't expect much. I know. That's certainly a silly idea, but it would be a belief that this country could stand to have, that the politicians don't do it for the money. Anyway, we're closing down here for the night, so have a nice night, everybody. I hope this wasn't interesting, if not, too informative. Listening and pleasure. Good night.